the game. So, I mean, he will go down in history as, helping to create probably two of the most iconic theme songs ever. I haven't actually listened to it, but apparently Triple H went off and did a moving tribute to Lemmy at his own funeral.
Yes, I heard about it. I have not seen it. But, anyone who knew Lemmy, knew how much of a great person he was and a great artist and inspiration.
I encourage you guys. There's a documentary on Lemmy on, I believe it's on Netflix. You go track it down, watch it. It's really good.
And if you want to hear some great music, listen to Motorhead.
Yeah, absolutely.
Phenomenal music. Another one we lost. I am really bad with names, especially French names.
Let's just say Celine Dion's husband, Renee, her former manager. For music fans and fans of Celine, this doesn't come really as a surprise. He'd been fighting cancer for better part of 15 years. I think at least 12 years. So I mean, to hear that he passed away isn't necessarily a big shock.
No, what did come as a big shock, though, was she also lost her brother 2 or 3 days later.
Yeah, it was. I'm not necessarily a fan of Celine Dion's music, and normally we wouldn't even bring her up on this show.
No, but
especially after
she is Canadian. She is an icon.
Well, she's from Quebec. I don't necessarily count that as being Canadian.
I am not touching that subject.
I hope not, but I mean, it's I definitely feel for her. I mean, I'm not sure. I'm trying to stay away from really bad jokes here.
We're gonna move on into further into our program.
You know what? Maybe. Sorry, guys. I think what we'll do is we're gonna go to a break. We're gonna take a break a little early here, and then we'll come back.
Yes.
And we'll try to lighten the mood up a little bit here.
Yes, we will be talking about Shannara. We'll be talking about Legends of Tomorrow. Many, many, many more.
Agent Carter.
Yes, maybe Agent Carter.
You know what?
Sure.
Enjoy Weapons by Corey Gray.
Dun dun dun. Welcome back to the Captain Fizz and Mask Guy show. So we have to talk about a great show that has started to come. I've only watched 2 episodes of it myself. I've downloaded the other 2, and I might be finishing them both tonight because I am epic. Shannara, based on the book by Terry Brooks.
It actually is based off of the second book in the Shannara series.
I don't care which book it's based off. No.
This is my time here. I've been a fan of Terry Brooks for a very long time.
I grew up reading Terry Brooks books in the library at school. I despised every other book but his. It was like a very twisted, weird version of The Lord of the Rings, but in an epic way.
You know what? There's a lot of themes that I see in the comparison between The Lord of the Rings and the Shannara series, particularly the first 3 books that he went off and he wrote about Shannara. Of course, The Sword of Shannara, The Elfstones of Shannara, which this season of the show is based off of, and The Wish Song of Shannara. I think they did the right thing here by going off. It's skipping out on doing the sword and going straight to Elfstones. I think the story is much more epic.
Oh, I completely agree. And it is a little hard for some people to follow if they haven't read the books. But don't worry, it does explain a lot as it goes, so, those you won't be completely lost.
No, but again, I do think, I don't think the story of the sword, Shannara, was quite as good. It may have been more epic, and they definitely could go back and they could do it in the later season.
Yeah, I believe starting with that would be a very bad, poor choice. But starting with the Elfstones was a very great, enter series.
Well, there's a love triangle that occurs in Elfstones of Shannara, and I think considering that this is something that's, I think it's MTV in the United States, and here in Canada it's on Much Music, which ironically doesn't actually play any music as far as I know. But I think considering the audience that they're trying to go after, which is probably at least 50% teenage girls. No offense. I think this was probably the wisest move to go off into to start here with the Elfstones. Hopefully, if they get picked up for a second season, I don't know if necessarily going with Swish Song. I think they should go straight to the Scions Quintet series, which I think would be epic.
I have to touch on the whole, if they get a second season, the way the graphics are and the storyline and the script, and all that stuff. This is phenomenally done. There is no question. They are pretty much following the book pretty closely. They are not.
Well, they've added a little bit to it, but they had to.
They have added a little bit. But if you look at the Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, all these different books or movies that have been based off of a book, the amount of deviation that they are doing in Shannara is not even in comparison to any other book.
Well, I think if you haven't seen these books, the Elfstone of Shannara itself is a small book. It's about 400 pages.
These are books that if you smack someone across the head, it would hurt.
But I do encourage you to go off and read it. The Terry Brooke, these novels of Shannara are epic. I actually had the privilege of meeting Terry Brooks several years ago. He gave me some great advice on writing. One of the things he went up and suggested is never have a co-writer on anything, because it's going to drive you absolutely insane. So I do encourage you, go check out the books. If you haven't seen the show, go ahead and check it out. Much like Fizz here, I've only seen the first 2 episodes. I kind of got lazy this weekend. I usually watch most of my shows this weekend, and I end up binging on the WWE Network and some of their old programming.
Yes, I've been binging on a lot of things. WWE is not one of them. Apparently Supergirl is back.
Really? Yeah, I guess they're... there's an episode there.
There really wasn't much notice. All of a sudden, my TV came on saying it's recording something, and I realized, hey, look, Supergirl's back.
Absolutely. Last week, that was kind of a...
2 weeks now, I think.
No, there's no episode this week, but there will be one next week.
Heroes is also back, apparently.
Who cares?
Actually, Heroes is getting quite interesting, so
Who cares?
to speak. But, we can all look forward to January 21st when the Legends of Tomorrow are here.
Legends of Tomorrow. This is, I think, probably the DC series I'm the most interested in.
No!
And that's not saying...
Gotham.
You know what? Gotham is good at times.
I like Gotham because Gotham is already out there. It's already in the second season. I know what's coming. I don't like...
You don't know what's happening on Gotham.
I always know.
No one knows what's happening on Gotham. You do have some good ideas on, and every once in a while your theories come true, but, no one really knows what's going to happen in Gotham. But, Legends of Tomorrow, Arrow and The Flash have done a great work in going up and leading up to the series. A lot of their supporting cast and characters have been getting, a lot more airtime to kind of introduce them, so that by the time The Legends of Tomorrow comes out, which of course is this Thursday on the 21st.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun. That we'll be at least more familiar with some of these characters, particularly since couple of them had to be, introduced, in the last couple of episodes just so they could prepare them for this series. And there's one character who, when they were starting to advertise for Legends of Tomorrow over the summer, who wasn't even cast on the show yet. So, I mean, everything here is pretty epic.
Yes, I'm at this point, though, where there's so many TV shows coming out, so many, new things to watch, that I don't have enough time to do everything. And my TV recording has pretty much begun to smoke and despise me and pretty much treat me like an idiot because I'm recording so many shows and I can't watch them all. And yeah. It's the red light of death. Continuously.
Is that an Xbox reference?
It is an Xbox reference.
If you guys have had an Xbox, you understand exactly what he's talking about.
Yes, the red ring of death when you're 5 hours into the best game ever and it goes poof. There's no potential words to describe what is going on with TV Land right now. It is ridiculous, and you got NFL playoffs on and hockey on, and I think that's about it.
Would you be offended if I say I don't give a rat's ass about the NFL?
You know what? I don't think many people give a rat's ass about the NFL right about now. But that's okay, because as long as you don't cheer for Dallas and you don't like Peyton Manning, you are okay in my books.
What if I told you that I was going to cheer for the Patriots?
By all means, there's no Peyton Manning. Tom Brady. No, don't like him either.
It's not that I really care. I mean, I'll go to the Super Bowl party. I'll pretend to watch.
I'm a Lions fan, so I like mediocre at best.
My apologies.
Yes.
But, I mean, hey, it could be worse. You could be a Vikings fan.
Vikings have fans?
Not anymore.
Oh, well, that's only because of Seattle's act of God, which eventually ran out. But we are so off topic.
And I think we've never talked about professional sports more than we have on this show so far.
There's no such thing as professional sports. It is sports with some sort of professional, unless, of course, it is run by Gary Bettman. Then there's no such thing as professional.
With that, we'll get back into talk about some of our TV shows here.
Yes.
One that I'm really interested in is the second season of Agent Carter, which, if you're listening to this, which is Tuesday, my birthday, happy birthday to me.
Ha! You beat me to it. I was going to mention it, but then realized that I don't care.
But, I mean, hey, my wife asked me what I wanted to do for my birthday, and so we are going to watch the season premiere of Agent Carter, and then we're probably going to watch some movie on video on demand.
You want to know what I am going to do for the premiere of Agent Carter?
You're not going to watch Agent Carter?
I am not going to watch it because I have yet to finish season 1. I have yet to finish season 1 of Daredevil. I still have to have, I don't know how many seasons to catch up for Flash and Arrow.
Well, Flash is season 2, so you don't have to worry too much about that. Arrow's on season 4, so good luck, my son. You're going to have to binge watch on Netflix.
You know what? There's so many things on Netflix that I get distracted. Do you know the homepage has 50 billion stupid things?
There's apparently passwords that will allow you to unlock pretty much any genre on there. I don't know.
Don't give me the password. There's already 50 billion things on Netflix. I don't need 50 billion more. If you don't know the horrors of Netflix, I urge you to never try it unless, of course, you can pick only one thing and watch it, rather than me, who is currently on my 50th some odd show.
It could be worse. It could be Hulu. You can watch movie trailers on Hulu. Apparently, you can play video games on Hulu.
I would never see daylight again.
This is true.
You give me the option to watch 5-minute trailers continuously, I will never set foot out the door again.
I don't know. I can watch all the trailers on Hulu that I like in probably about 15 minutes, and then it'll go meh.
I would watch them all because I have OCD, and it'd be